Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Dandavat pranam to everyone. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदनाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुषे नमः। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमा ओं विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हरे कृष्ण। So can I thought that I'm late, so I just started. What is it? Can I continue?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. Okay. All the preliminary like introduction, everything is done, right? Okay. So we will be. So this is Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 6, Chapter 17, text number 29 to maybe 30, 32, 33, whatever, that we will continue. I did not read any of these verses. I just opened up. Anyway, my health is not good, but we will go on and try to explain. Okay. So text, this is about Mother Parvati versus Maharaj Chitraketu, because Chitraketu Maharaj is a very exalted devotee. Within 7 days of his life, he could see face to face the Narayan, and he got a viman on which he could ride anywhere. So he was going through Himalayas and came across Mother Parvati sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva, and there were so many sages. And he just pointed out that it does not behove for a protector of the religion to sit like this. And Mother Parvati could not take that, and she immediately cursed that you become a Rakshasas immediately. And he accepted that. Being a devotee, they take both positions, good, bad, hani, lav, jivan, maran, yash, apyash, or somebody's punishment and or reward or pleasure or so they take all everything same. So this is what is being described. So this verse and further verses are spoken by Lord Shiva about the glorification of a devotee. So that is the devotional glorification. Text number 29. Dahinam deha sanyogat dvandhaneshwara leelaya sukham dukkham amratir janma shapo anugraha evacha, because of the action of the Supreme Lord's external energy. That is Maya, external energy. There are three energies: internal energy, external energy, all the Nitya Mukta Jiva. So that is, and that is also, they are also Jiva soul, Nitya Mukta, but they live in the spiritual world, spiritual planet. There is Nitya Baddha, they live in the material world. So external energy attacks like people in the material world. Our body is made of external energy. The whole universe is made of the external energy, all the universes. And so many things are made, and Maya tries to allure us to come and enjoy her. Means enjoy our senses to the fullest extent within the material world. She says, enjoy me. Come, she allures, come, you come. And then if you go, then you, no, just come little bit further. And she's so beautiful, it looks so nice, enticing, that people, they go on and become trapped by her beauty, by her enjoying spirit. So everything that in the material world we enjoy is by Durga Devi's arrangement to see whether we are perfect or whether we are eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, she keeps us in the material world. She is the superintendent of the material world, jail. So material world is like compared to a jail. So the living entities are conditioned in contact with material bodies. We have material bodies and condition is Baddha Jeev. So we become attached to so many things from time immemorial, like somebody is attached to tea, somebody is attached to women, somebody is attached to wine, somebody is attached to smoking, somebody is attached to so much wealth. So under the spell of three gunas, Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun, we go here and there with this three gunas, and we kind of like we rot in the material world because of the attachment, because of the so, and we come here. It says living entities are conditioned in contact with material bodies. Means a tea is controlling them. They cannot wake up. They cannot work. Somebody has to drink some beer or wine to work or be function. Otherwise, they are always depressed. So many conditions are there, and we are all conditioned. So conditioned means Baddhaji. We are bound up, and mostly we are bound up this Maithunagar, shackles of Maithun, sex life. Every living being is bound up by sex life. And that's why this material world is called Maithunagar. Agar means home, or Agar means where we are, or fold, or Agar and Maithun, sex life. A home with sex life. And the dualities of happiness and distress, birth and death, curses and favors are natural byproduct of the contact in the material world. If we are in the material world, then this thing will happen. Somebody is happy, somebody is distressed. That is called duality. Duality and two-sided. Minute that we are happy, then we may be crying the next minute. Minute we are then there would be distress also. There is a birth and death. One who has taken birth, they will die. So death. So more you elevate, and then when you fall down, then that much hurting you will have. So better not to get eluded, not to get attached to this good and bad, profit or adoration or distinction, profit or loss. One should not get entangled in this duality, dual world, which is opposite side. In the spiritual world, there is no duality. A devotee is not in duality. So these are the qualities of a devotee that we will be reading. So we are in the material nature made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. We are, and that is all byproduct, that is all by Maya, external energy. Our body is made of this external energy. In Bhagavad Gita, we find Maya Dhakshana Prakriti, Suyate Sacharacharam, Etunanena to Konte, Jagat Viparivartate. And the material world works under the direction of the goddess Durga, and she is under the control of the Lord, the material energy of the Lord. But she acts under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Shasti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yash Bhuvanani Vivarti Durga Ichchana Rupam Piyasa Chechestate Sa Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Durga, the goddess Parvati, the wife of Lord Shiva, is extremely powerful. She can create, maintain, and annihilate any number of universes by her sweet will, but she acts under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, not independently. Krishna is impartial, but because this is the material world of duality, such relative terms as happiness and distress, curses and favor are created by the will of the Supreme. So one may say, why the will of the Supreme? He is creating these dualities. He just wants to test us. The Durga follows the order of the Supreme Lord, her master. See, like just there is a puppet, and puppet are dancing on the with the threads, and thread size on the hand of Durga Devi. But Durga Devi gets instruction from the Supreme Lord. So they are dancing, but puppet thinks I am dancing. It is, I am not dancing, it is by the material nature we are dancing. Prakate Kriyamanani, Guni Karmani Sarva. Guni means rope also. Guni Karmanu Sarvasa, Ahankar Vimudatma Kartaviti Mandite. These things happen, but it is, we think out of pride that it is, I am the doer. But we are not the doer. Doer is ultimately Krishna. He says how much we have advanced. He sees that are we given up sense enjoying propensity? Are we detached? Vairagya, Vidya, and are we in knowledge that who is Krishna? Unless we are all this, we will be rotting in the material and suffering in the material. Those who are not Narayan Para, Narayan Parayan. Narayan Parayan is dependent fully on Krishna. Pure devotees must be disturbed by this duality. We are not Narayan Parayan. So pure devotees, who are pure devotees Narayan Parayan, must be disturbed by this duality of the material world. Whereas devotees who are simply attached to the service of the Lord are not at all disturbed by it. The Haridas Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplaces with a cane in 22 bazaars, but he was never disturbed. Instead, he simply tolerated the beating because the disturbing dualities of the material world, devotees are not disturbed at all because they fix their mind on the lotus feet of the Lord and concentrate on the holy name of Lord. They do not feel the so-called pains and pleasures caused by the duality of the material world. Pains and pleasure, they really not only disturb us, but if there is pleasure. So one becomes so much enamored. Oh, I'm so happy. And the next moment, oh, I'm so distressed. So these things will go on eternally unless we take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Then these things, dualities, don't affect us if we are. So these things are there in the material world. And affects those living beings who are under Maya. Text number 13. Aviveka krita punsho yartha veda ivatmani gunadosha vikalpasya vi deva strajivat kritaha. As one mistakenly considers a flower garland to be a snake, or experiences happiness and distress in a dream. So in the material, two analogies are there. Either thinking garland as a snake or happiness or what we in a dream. Sometimes you are very elated, very happy, sometimes you are distressed. But nothing is happening. It is just in a dream. It is all in the mind. So in the material world, by lack of careful consideration, we differentiate between happiness and distress, considering one good and the other bad. Both are bad. You say, why the good things are bad? Because it keeps us away from Krishna. It keeps us away from thinking of Krishna, going to the spiritual world. So we think, oh, it is everything. Naraka और स्वर्ग ये मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में ही है, पर नरक और स्वर्ग अलग से भी है, मटेरियल वर्ल्ड ही नहीं है, और ये हमारा माइंड का स्टेटस है. ये खराब है, ये अच्छा है. This is our attachment. Let's say if somebody is giving me a drink made of rat or mouse for 2 years put in a water, and Chinese drink it as a very nice drink. But can we do that? Why? It is just in the mind. Oh, it is good. For us, it is very bad, very foul smelling. Same thing, anything in the material world is duality. There is two sides of the same thing. Dvaite Bhadra Abhadra Gyan Sab Manodharma. It is in the mind. Ei Bhal, Ei Manda, Ei Sab Brahma. It is the Brahm. This is good, this is bad. So it is the distinction between happiness and distress in the material world of duality are simply mental concoction. अपने मन की उपज है ये, mind की. For the so-called happiness and distress are actually one and the same thing, because you have to remain in the material world away from Lord Krishna's hand, and then we have to suffer. Once we are in the material world, then three pangs, Adi, Devik, Adi, Bhautik, Adhyatmik, we will be suffering all these things. They are like the happiness and distress in a dream. A sleeping man creates his happiness and distress by dreaming, although actually they have no existence. So a person who is sleeping is dreaming. He's happy, he's not happy, he's crying sometimes, he's laughing sometimes. So this is all done by, you may say, by whether it is Maya or it is Lord's external energies acting on us. The other example given in the verse is that of a flower garland is originally very nice, but by mistake for want of mature knowledge, one may consider it a snake. In this connection, there is a statement by Prabodhananda Saraswati, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. Everyone in this material world is distressed by miserable conditions. But Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says that this world is full of happiness. How is this possible? He answers, Yat Karunaya Kataksh Vaibhava va tam tam gauram eva istumaha. A devotee accepts the distress of this world, material world, as happiness only due to his causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whatever distress, but a person who is a devotee, he thinks it is arrangement of the Lord. Just like Haridas Thakur was bitten, but he didn't. He really Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took all the brunt. He showed in the Prakash that he took this. His back was black by having the bitten, so he takes care of his devotees. So nicely, he did not feel. By his personal behavior, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that he was never distressed, but always happy in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One should follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and engage constantly in chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One should follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he will, if we chant, never feel the distresses of this world of duality. In any condition of life, one will be happy if he chants the holy name of the Lord. So that is significance of the holy name also. That if you chant, Haridas Thakur was chanting all the 12 marketplaces or 22 marketplaces by chanting the holy name. In dream, we sometimes enjoy eating sweet rice, sometimes suffer as if one of our beloved family members had died, because the same mind and body exist in the same material world of duality. When we are awake, the so-called happiness and distress of this world are no better than the false superficial happiness of dream. The mind is the Maya medium in both dreams. So in the both dream and wakefulness, the same mind and everything created by the mind in terms of sankalpa and vikalpa, acceptance and rejection, is called manodharma or mental concoction. Text number 31. Vasu, very nice verse. Prabhupada quoted this many times. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhaktim Udvahatam Ranam Jnana Vairagya Viryanam Nahi Kashit Vyapashraya. Vyapashraya is interested or shelter. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace E.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Persons engaged in devotional service to Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, have naturally perfect knowledge and detachment from the material world. They have knowledge and they are detached also. Therefore, such devotees are not interested in the so-called happiness or so-called distress of this world. Because for them, happiness and distress are the same. As long as they are chanting, they don't care about it. They don't go on the mental concoction. As long as we are in the material world, this duality should be there. But you rise up to Krishna Bhakti, then these things would not bother you. Here is the distinction between a devotee and a philosopher who speculates on the subject matter of transcendence. A devotee does not need to cultivate knowledge to understand the falsity or temporary existence of this material world. That is very, very important. You should understand that a devotee do not have to make a separate endeavor. He will understand, he will have the knowledge, what is good for me, what I should do. But the materialistic person would not have any knowledge of whatsoever. Because of his unallied devotee to Vasudeva, unallied means pointed attraction. There is no directly Krishna, not anybody in between. The knowledge and detachment are automatically manifested in his person. It is confirmed elsewhere in Srimad Bhagvatam 1-7. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Tad Yad Ahetukam. One who engages in unallied devotional service. Unallied means without putting your mind somewhere else. Today is this demigod, tomorrow is this demigod, today is how I like this Krishna or I like this person. So in the same way, people, they go from one to another. It is not unallied means pointed to one, Krishna. unallied devotional service to Vasudeva. Krishna automatically becomes aware of the material world, and therefore he is naturally detached. This detachment is possible because of the high standard of knowledge. The speculative philosophers tries to understand that this material world is false by cultivating knowledge, but this understanding is automatically manifested in the person of a devotee. Devotee automatically gets this knowledge. But philosopher is speculative. They just think Krishna would be like this, devotional service would be like this, devotee would be like this, I should behave with the devotee in this way. Automatically this happens. Krishna
Okay, Hare Krishna.
So sorry for disturbance. So the Mayavadi philosophers may be very proud of so-called knowledge, but because they do not understand Vasudeva, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Bahunam Janmanamante, Jnanavan Mam Prapadate, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Samahatma Sudurlabha. It's very, very difficult to find Vasudeva Bhagavati. Means they don't understand Vasudeva, and they are very proud of Mayavadis. Mayavadis, they think that God is no Mayavadi, whom you will call that God, if he takes a form, he takes shelter of Maya, he gets a form. He has no special qualities, and they don't really surrender to. We are all God. We are all Vasudeva. So Narayan. So Namo Narayan. They call everybody Namo Narayan. But they are not Narayan, they are not even servant of Narayan. So material world is full of duality. The Mayavadi philosophers may be very proud of their so-called knowledge, but because they do not understand Vasudeva, which is a manifestation of Vasudev's external energy. Therefore, the material world is an external energy. We should enter into the internal energy. Therefore, unless the so-called Jnanis take shelter of Vasudeva, their speculative knowledge is imperfect. Yenne Arvindaksh Vimukta Manina, they think that they have become free. Vimukta Manina. तो वो भगवान को सरेंडर करते नहीं है. They simply think of becoming free from the contamination of the material world, but because they do not take the shelter of the lotus feet of Vasudeva, their knowledge is impure. When they actually become pure, they surrender to the lotus feet of Vasudeva. Therefore, the absolute truth is easier to understand for a devotee than for Jnanis who simply speculate to understand Vasudeva. Lord Shiva confirms this statement in the following verse. Says, so Lord Shiva is narrating this to rishis, but particularly to Parvati, who cursed Maharaj Chitraketu, was a very similar devotee like Lord Shiva. Naham Virancho na Kumara Narado, na Brahmaputra Munaya Sureshaha, Vidam Yashe Hita Manshakankshaka, na Tat Swarupam Prathagishamaninaham. Neither Lord Shiva, Naham Viran, Na Aham means Lord Shiva is saying, so that is him himself, Nar Brahma, Nar the Ashwini Kumar, Nar Narada are the other great sages who are Brahma's sons, nor even the demigods can understand the pastimes and personality of Supreme Lord. Although we are part of the Supreme Lord, we consider ourselves independent, separate controllers, and thus we cannot understand his identity. We are neither controller, nor owners, nor enjoyers. It is all Krishna. See, Krishna just says that Bhoktaram, I am the Bhokta. I am the enjoyer. Bhokta means enjoyer. Yagya Tapasam, Sarva Loka Maheshwara. He is the supreme controller of all the planets, Sarva Maha Ishwar. Ishwar means controller. Maha and great controller. Suradam, he is our well-wisher. So if we understand this by heart, then we feel pleasure, we feel happiness that Krishna is there to protect us, Krishna is there to serve, and not to serve us, but Krishna is there that we could serve him, we could chant his holy name, and we will be protected from all over, up, down, right, left, everywhere we would be protected. So we should not be worried about, we should completely depend on the Supreme Lord, Krishna. So we cannot understand his identity that he is the Supreme Lord. Anyway, Advaitam Achyutam Anand Brahma Samhita is saying, Anadim Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Atma Bhakto Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, who is the original person. Go means cows, go means the senses, and he gives pleasure to our senses, and the cows and Brahmanas also. He is absolute, infallible, and beginningless. There is nothing beginning. Everything began from him. And although expanded into unlimited forms, he is still the same original person, the oldest person who always appears as a fresh youth. The eternal, blissful, all-knowing forms of the Lord cannot be understood even by the best Vedic scholar, but they are always manifest to pure, unallied devotees. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yashasmi tatvata. Tato mam tatuto gyata vishati tavanantaram. That by bhakti only one can understand Krishna, not by any another process. The Lord Shiva places himself at one of the non-devotees who cannot understand the identity of Supreme Lord. The Lord being Ananta has an unlimited number of forms. Therefore, how is it possible for an ordinary common man to understand him? Lord Shiva, of course, is the above the ordinary human beings, yet he is unable to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He thought that he could win Kamdev. So Krishna refused him, don't do that. But he says, no, I have won the Kamdev, so I could take care of the Kamdev if it disturbs me. But everybody other than Narayan, nobody is the master of the Kamdev. So only by taking shelter of him, we get empowered to take care of this Kamdev. Lord Shiva is not among the ordinary living entity, nor is he in the category of Lord Vishnu. He is between Lord Vishnu and common living entity. So, text number 33. Na yash shasti priya kaschin na priya swaparo piva atmatvat sarvabhutanam sarvabhuta priyo harihi. He holds no one as very dear and no one as inimical. So there is nobody very dear and nobody is animal to him. कोई शत्रु नहीं है, कोई दोस्त नहीं है. He has no one for his own relative and no one is aligned to him. कोई उसके लिए foreigner नहीं है. He is actually the souls of all living entity. आत्मा के भी आत्मा है. Thus he is the auspicious friend of all living entity and is very dear, very near and dear to all of them. तो ये ड्यूटी के क्वालिफिकेशन बतलाते हैं कि इज डियर टू एवरीबडी. द सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉडहेड इन हिज सेकंड फीचर is the super soul of all living entity. As one's self is extremely dear, and the super soul of the self is still more dear. We love our soul, but really because soul cannot do anything without the super soul. So he has to look towards the super soul. But rather than looking, he should beg that please guide me what I should do. Like Arjun that spoke a verse that please कार्पण्य दोष पहत स्वभाव प्रच्छामि धर्म समूढ़चेता यश्रेय निश्चितम पुरोहितम में शिष्यस्ते सान्यवाम प्रपन्नम. Please guide what I should be doing in this condition. I mean, enamored by Maya and also by these plants and all this, that. Anyway, as one's self is extremely dear, we are all dear to our soul. The super soul, super self of the self is still more dear. But we don't worship super soul. No one can be enemy of the friendly super soul, who is equal to everyone. Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. Relationship of dearness or in enmity between the Supreme Lord and the living entity are due to the intervention of the illusory energy. Because the three modes of material nature intervene between the Lord and the living entity, these different relationships appear. Actually, the living entity in the pure condition is always very near and dear to the Lord, and the Lord is dear to him. There is no question of partiality or enmity. There is no question that Krishna is separate or Krishna. He gives the knowledge from within. Tadami buddhi yogantam yena mam upyantite. You can go to Krishna now. And so as long as he is in the material world, he is not attached to, there is no enemy of him. That is a pure duty. There is no one that he has to. Somehow, if your own close relative, then you should teach him to surrender to the Supreme Lord. Then you could only be happy. So, this is we read about 33. That nobody is there, and this 34, 35 is a little longer purport, but there is a lot of time. So we will just talk about these things. This devotee's qualification. What is the devotee that is being, that we are being describing, and why this bhakti is superior? Devotee means who is a bhakta. Can an insignificant jiva satisfy the Supreme Lord who has 6 opulences in full? The pages of Srimad Bhagvatam emphatically declare that it is absolutely possible. Means, can we satisfy the Supreme Lord? Yes. In fact, the Bhagavatam clarifies that satisfying the Supreme Lord in all one's endeavor is the eternal function of the jiva. Our function is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. If he is happy, then everything is happy. But how can a jiva accomplish that? That's where the king of all spiritual pursuits, the path of bhakti, excels all other processes. What other processes? Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Dhyana yoga, Ashtanga yoga. There are so many other yogas. But it does not satisfy Krishna, and we don't become enlivened. But for a devotee, what is given in the pages of Bhagavatam, follow 9 processes of Noda Bhakti and take little prasad, you would be happy. Okay. So bhakti excels all other processes since it can engage or enable everyone regardless of material limitation, satisfy the Supreme Lord through bhakti amam abhijanat, through offerings of love. Yes. As Sri Prahlad Maharaj states, even Gajendra, an elephant, satisfied the Supreme Lord by his devotion. The following is so glories of the devotional service from Bhagavatam, Canto 5 and 6 is describing. So readings 6th canto. One can attain liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimatra. So Mahat Seva means serving the devotees. Then it opens your door to the spiritual world. And if you are attached to women or non-devotees, then the door is closed for you. You cannot go inside. Very nice verse. 1552. No, 552. Bhakti awakens pure love for the Lord. which continues under all circumstances. Because Ajamil chanted the Lord's holy name in helpless condition without offense, he was freed from all sinful reaction and became eligible for liberation. If one understands Bhagavad Dharma, what we are reading is a Bhagavad Dharma, or surrender unto the Supreme Lord, he is immediately liberated and returns back to Godhead. Immediately, Sanukulasya Sankalpa Pratikulasya Varjanam Rakshashati Vati Vishwaso Gopatratve Varnam Tatha and Atma Nikshepa Karpanya Shadbhir Bhakti Pravishati. This is the Krishna. So these are the 6 principles of surrender. If one understands Bhagavad Dharma or surrender unto the Supreme Lord, he is immediately liberated and returns back to Godhead. Swambhur Narada Sambhu. By transcendental loving service unto the Lord, one attains liberation from material life. If we want to get liberation from the material world, we should engage in the devotional service. Mani Shino Antar Hradi Sanniveshitam. If one faithfully and inoffensively, without any offense, chants the Lord's holy name, one surely returns to the Lord's abode. Miryamano Harir Nama. Bhakti is removing all the material fear, miseries and fear. The Lord's lotus feet are the actual shelter of fearlessness. You want to become pure, fearless, then chant Krishna's names. And it will make you like so many people came, snakes and deer, to Prahlad Maharaj, to Dhruv Maharaj, but they were not disturbed, and it gives you the fearlessness. Haridas Thakur, by surrendering completely unto the Lord's lotus feet, even once that we surrender, one is freed from all sinful reactions and does not see Maharaj or his order carriers, even in dreams. How important it is that we don't see the Yamaraj or his Dutas, or not even in a dream that they come to you. They are afraid of devotees. Devotees engaged in devotional service of the Lord never fear any condition of life. If one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life, even though he is sinful. So if he has to go to hellish life, he does not. If he is a devotee, he is chanting without any offenses, then Krishna will make sure that he goes back home, back to Godhead. So in that way, because Krishna is supporting, this Maya is supported by Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why so strong. Otherwise, we are of a higher nature. But because we have taken shelter of Maya Devi, so we suffer. But if we take shelter of Krishna, we don't have to suffer. So bhakti burns all the sinful reactions. Chanting the holy name removes all the sinful reaction. Even when one once chanted while stumbling or falling, then from hunger, then Krishna comes. Even when chanted indirectly to indicate someone else jokingly or musical entertainment or even neglectfully, then Sanketam Parihashyam. Of all kinds, both heavy and light. When chanted knowingly or even unknowingly, then he gets right to the spiritual kingdom. Even with improper pronunciation, does not appear. Of the most sinful persons like dog eaters, chandals, are one who has killed a Brahman, a cow, father, mother, or a spiritual master, then he is also becomes free from any sinful reaction if he follows the instruction. Bhakti removes the material contamination. Bhakti is very auspicious. The one attached to nectarian honey of the lotus feet, Lord's lotus feet, never gives up the exalted position, although he may sometimes be checked by impediments. So one who is a devotee, he automatically becomes very elevated. By taking shelter of the dust from the lotus feet, from Lord's lotus feet, one can transcend the influence of the 6 mortal whips and conquer the senses. That is, 6 mortal whips are Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mada, Matsarya. All living entity become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they think of each other's welfare. Swastyastu Vishwasu Kalau Prasidha. All living entity become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they think of each other's welfare. That others are also children of Krishna, and they think of the welfare of all others. Not that cow is being beaten, killed, or they put so much air in the nipples of the cow, they become swollen. People think it is so much milk is there, and they sometimes take out the milk, but it is all poison, and cow dies. So in this way, they show so many artificial ways. Sinful Ajamil was immediately rescued from the Yamdutas simply by a glimpse of the chanting the holy name, Narayan. Those who chant the holy name do not come under Yamdutas or Yamraja's jurisdiction for punishment. Even if they sometimes commit sinful acts, they are protected. So how nice the Bhakti Yoga is. Congregational chanting of the most auspicious activity in the entire universe is the chanting the holy name. The Yamdutas are fearful of the Lord's devotees and don't dare even to look at them. Persons engaged in devotional service to Lord Vasudeva have naturally perfect knowledge and detachment, and they do not take shelter elsewhere. Knowledge and deduction, automatically it comes. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prajita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Ahetukam. A person fixed in devotional service of the Lord swims in the ocean of nectar. For him, what use is Swarga, which is like the water in a small ditch. By always engaging in devotional service, devotees enjoy supreme bliss. They don't desire liberation, even if the Lord offers it. Liberation is mukti, like you are free from your material entanglement, but they are automatically free. They don't get entangled. Many processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is fully revealed only to one who has attained the mercy of the great devotee. Liberation is considered insignificant for those whose mind are attracted to the loving service of the Lord. Even a sinful person engaging in anyway, there are many points about devotional service. It begins with chanting Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, the Lord, the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in human society. Bhakti attracts the Supreme Lord. Just like Patram Pushpam Phalam Tvam. This Patra and Pushpa was given by this elephant. Pushpam, Patram Pushpam, Phalam. So there are many devotees who offer fruits, toyam, water. The affectionate Lord manifests himself to the devotee, being attracted by their devotion. Devotional service makes the Lord obliged to fulfill the desire of his devotees out of love. Out of love, we want to do so much service to our own children, out of love. But that love in the material world is going to get over. But the love with Krishna is never to get corrected. Even chant the Lord's holy name without offense at the time of death. The Vishnu Dutas immediately arrive, irrespective of one's sinful background, to protect him from the Yamdutas. The Lord is satisfied by devotional service. great people perform or aspire for bhakti. Prahlad Maharaj and demigods, and they want to take the paper, pen and write it, and the great people perform or aspire for bhakti. Condemned unless bhakti is performed. Unless one worship the lotus feet of great devotees, one will be conquered by Maya. But if one is taking the shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, then Maya cannot overtake him. So I will end here. There may be some questions, comments. So we can discuss about the bhakti, how bhakti removes all inauspiciousness, how the material world that we go or we are in, it attacks us, and nothing works except bhakti. So bhakti is the superior most, topmost. So if there is any comments, questions, discussions, so please ask now. Moments Association. You all know.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhanu Pranam, Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. It's a lot of discussion, but I did not go for detail about the Bhakti Yoga and what Bhakti can do to every one of us.
Right. No, Maharaj, it was still very good class. Very nice points discussed. And yeah. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dhanu Pranam.
जय श्रील प्रभुपाद मेरा भी प्रणाम आपको.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Pranam. Thank you so much for this excellent class.
Hare Krishna.
You covered so many points, Maharaj. I don't have any question on Bhakti, but very nice class, Maharaj.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your appreciation. Hare Krishna.
Always to Prabhupada. You were such a nice
Jai Shri.
Reminding ourselves about the supremacy, the supremost position of the Bhakti Yoga, which encompasses all the other margas, all the other paths. So all the benefits and qualities of all the other paths are available in the Bhakti Yoga. And
only Bhakti can lead us to devotional service. Jnana and Vairagya would come from Bhakti, not from other processes. So there are many processes, but Srimad Bhagvatam recommends that you become a devotee of the Lord and engage in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Tashyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedana.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, that Falgu Vairagya is very dangerous. It takes us.
Falgu Vairagya has no meaning. Falgu means it is false, it is not there.
Yeah. For you, Maharaj, for this 9 nectarian class and your purifying association. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Okay. Thank you. So, should we end here, or if there is any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. I don't think
Hare
any question, so we can end up the call here. Pancha Kalpata, Kripa Sindhu.
Krapa Sindhu Bhevcha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama, Ananta Koti, Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Pranam.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, we will see you next, I think next
20.
Monday,
Yeah,
12th.
next Monday. And 28 is also possible for you, Maharaj? 28.
No. 28th I won't be in the town, so it won't
Okay.
be possible. But 12th would be possible. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
So you
Yeah.
could keep a note, everybody, that on
Yeah.
20th I will give the class. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna.